In 1881, President Garfield was shot. For 80 days, doctors tried in vain to locate the bullet inside him. In the end, the president died. Even the most powerful man in the United States died from a wound that would be easily curable in 14 years due to William Roentgen's innovation of the X-ray photograph. William Roentgen's innovations of generating and photographing X-rays created new industries, increased and impacted medical knowledge, and changed society's view of the world. Beginning in Britain in the 1780s, the world began to industrialize. By the 1830s, the US, France, and Germany had all begun to industrialize as well. Technology advanced greatly as one innovation followed another. Factories gave workers jobs, and positions appeared for middle-class managers, engineers, and businessmen. The higher education system expanded to prepare people for these new skilled roles. Out of the rising standard of living and rapidly improving technology, a curious middle class developed a fascination for parlor toys, gadgets like photographs, phonographs, and moving pictures, all of which kept them amused and their inventors wealthy. A spirit of competition to create these new thingamajigs was almost tangible. In 1871, Dr. Richard L. Maddox invented the photographic dry plate, a plate coated in a gelatin emulsion instead of collodion emulsion. This method was faster, allowing the photographer to use the plate whenever he wished. This facilitated and popularized taking still pictures with visible light. William Roentgen used valuable information from Sir William Crookes, inventor of the Crookes tube, which produced cathode rays. Heinrich Hertz demonstrated the existence of the electromagnetic spectrum, and Philip Leonard's discovery of many properties of cathode rays all help inspire Roentgen's experiment. The discovery of the X-ray was an accident. The innovation was clever, but Roentgen never intended to see what he saw. While experimenting with cathode rays attached to a Ruhmkorff coil, he discovered that a screen coated with barium platinocyanide across the room glowed green. Intrigued, Roentgen spent the next 2 weeks in his laboratory experimenting with his new discovery. Afterwards, Roentgen had confirmed that the combination of Ruhmkorff coil and Crookes tube caused the screen to glow every time. Roentgen remarked to the Wurzburg Physical and Medical Society in 1895, "It is seen, therefore, that some agent is capable of penetrating black cardboard, which is quite opaque, to ultraviolet light, sunlight, or arc light. It is therefore of interest to investigate how far other bodies can be penetrated by the same agent. It is readily shown that all bodies possess the same transparency, but in very varying degrees." This innovative pairing of previous inventions created a new kind of ray that was similar to light, but could penetrate objects once thought completely opaque. Not everyone is excited about X-rays, however. Some thought they were disturbing and morbid, as seen in this poem. "O Roentgen, then the news is true, and not a trick of idle rumor, that bids us each beware of you, and of your grim and graveyard humor. We do not want, like Dr. Swift, to take our flesh off and to pose in. Our bones were to sew each little rift and joint for you to poke your nose in." At the time, skeletons represented death, as they could only be seen as decomposed corpses. Also, the X-ray photograph seemed scandalous because it showed people naked, without their clothes and without their skin. Women declared themselves as independent and strong individuals. By capturing nude and subjective images of their bodies, the X-ray deflowered them, dispelling the conservative Victorian image of women. The new industry created by the X-ray opened many job opportunities. 16% of radiologists were women. Prestigious fields, such as medicine, began accepting women as leaders and as professionals. Elizabeth Fleischmann became a nationally renowned radiographer, despite society's constricted view of women.
Though men still outnumber women. When I finished training almost 20 years ago, I took my first job at a small community hospital, and I was the first woman or female radiologist at that hospital. And there were 8 radiologists total, and I was so 7 men and 1 woman.
Within months, the X-ray craze spread across Europe. people were fascinated by the possibility of seeing their living skeletons and willing to pay for it. X-ray slot machines cropped up, in which a customer inserted a coin and could marvel at seeing his own bones. In New York City, Bloomingdale's used X-ray demonstrations to draw in customers. In Paris, M. Dufayel alternated between X-ray demonstrations and the equally popular demonstration of the Lumiere brothers' moving pictures. X-rays had a long-term effect on the market for medical supplies. Machines and film were in high demand. In 1896, General Electric began selling X-ray supplies. X-ray Technologies turned a fledgling company into a corporate giant. Simultaneously, Siemens, an already well-established company, significantly grew as a result of the X-ray. Countless other small businesses were founded, but absorbed into these major companies.
2 years after Röntgen published his findings, the Spanish-American War broke out. X-ray photographs had a profound effect during this war and subsequent ones, enabling military surgeons to locate bullets within the bones and soft tissues of their patients. This made surgery faster and less invasive, reducing the risk of infection after surgery and saving American lives. After the advent of the X-ray photograph, the ratio between soldiers who died of their wounds and soldiers who survived them decreased dramatically, demonstrating that the X-ray's use in military surgery increased a soldier's chance of surviving a wound that had previously been fatal. Today, the X-ray is a form of security in airports to check for bombs, weapons, and other hazardous items. This prevents terrorist attacks and violence. Additionally, the X-ray is used to battle the constant fight of drug trafficking, human trafficking, and arms trafficking prevention. For example, when Guillermina Castro Lopez tried to smuggle 2 pounds of heroin tubes across the U.S.-Mexico border, the drugs showed up on an X-ray scanner. Customs officials found the drugs, and Mrs. Lopez found herself in prison. Her case is just one of hundreds in which human drug mules get caught due to X-ray scanners. The X-ray photograph allowed doctors to see inside a patient without operating, changing the medical field.
It's made a huge impact. The invention of X-rays has truly revolutionized the way we practice medicine today. X-rays have provided us a tool to diagnose disease or detect disease, as well as being a powerful tool to treat cancers.
In 1896, Dr. Emil Grubb cured Mrs. Ross Lee of breast cancer through radiation therapy, pioneering the use of X-ray radiation as a treatment for cancer. His clever use of the X-ray as a form of radiation therapy on cancer patients is still used today. According to the National Cancer Institute, about half of all people with cancer are treated with radiation therapy. Recently, the death rates in the U.S. due to cancer have decreased dramatically due to the perfection and fine-tuning of radiation therapy techniques. Although patients experience the negative aspects of radiation therapy, such as skin burns, open sores, and hair loss, this form of treatment gives patients a powerful weapon against cancer. Over time, the X-ray sparked the creation of other medical devices such as the MRI, CT scan, PET scan, and ultrasound. All of these devices continue to impact the medical world by providing more knowledge about the human body and diagnosing diseases. Innovating the X-ray and the X-ray photograph, William Röntgen gave society a new way of looking at the world, doctors a new way of looking at their patients, and entrepreneurs a new way to make money. Months after Röntgen published his findings, E. Christensen wrote to him saying, "The invention is too valuable to science not to be exploited. It is on the other hand too dangerous to be allowed into everyone's hands." Even so soon after the X-ray photograph was invented, Christensen knew what kind of an impact the innovation would have. He sought to make money off the patent with Röntgen, and companies did make money off the X-ray, such as General Electric and Siemens. Christensen also realized that the X-ray photograph would one day be essential to science, and it is now one of the most basic but most essential medical tools. From diagnosing a broken bone, to locating an elusive bullet, to shrinking a cancerous tumor, the X-ray is ubiquitous in medicine. Additionally, he realized that the X-ray came at a price. If left in the wrong hands, X-rays burn those hands severely and turn them leathery and tough and flaky with skin atrophy. Ironically, though the X-ray is a major cure for cancer, overexposure to X-rays causes cancer. With the advent of the X-ray, the world changed forever.